Francis here from E-MTB Review, and today we have three of the most exciting racks for heavy bikes, maybe even e-bikes. And I'm going to review today not this amazing One-Up USA rack, but this one called the Quikr Stuff Mach 2 rack. Quikr Stuff Mach 2 rack. It is the most intriguing rack today because of a few reasons, and I have a lot of insight about it. It is a new company born out of the founder of the One-Up USA rack. The original designer went and formed his own company along with a couple partners. They calls it Quikr Stuff, and everything he wanted to do with the One-Up USA, the heavy duty rack, is here. You know, the heavy duty rack is about a 10-year-old design, still the most popular rack available today. This is called the Equip-D, but we have here the Mach 2 rack. And you know, a lot of people think it's a One-Up USA clone, but it's the founder, the Generation 2, and I think that's why he calls it Mach 2. And he calls the company Quikr Stuff because this original rack was called the One-Up USA Quik Rack. So a lot of play, a lot of history between these two companies. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you all about this rack, what makes it so special, and why there's a 6-month wait to get this rack. The way it gets shipped to you, the way you order is all unique, and the way it mounts to the hitch is pretty crazy, pretty innovative. All right, first let me tell you about the rack. It comes in one rack version, $649, and then to get another tray is another $449. So quickly you're at $1,100. It's a lot of money, but there's a 6-month wait, maybe even 9 months. So there must be a reason why this thing is in such demand. But let me first tell you how you put your bike on. So there's a little knob here. You lift it up, this whole thing tilts, and boom. And then to open it, these red levers, huge red levers, much bigger than what's in the One-Up. And these things, they go all the way to the ground if you want them to. So we'll open them wide, and then we have my Trek bike here. This is actually an e-bike. So this is the way you want to mount these heavy bikes. One wheel first if you're not super strong. And what you usually want to do is secure the rear wheel because it's more stable than the front, and now you can have your own sweet time. Bike's not gonna fall, and then boom. I usually like to crank it down so hard so there's no wiggle at all, but you don't really have to. And what makes this rack really special is this tray can handle up to 120 pounds. Now if you have two of them, they want 70 and 70 pounds. So 70-pound bikes, that means heavy bikes, fat bike, e-bikes are okay. On the weaknesses side, like most One-Up racks, there's no rest on the rear wheel, so you get a little bit of this wobble. So something to note. But you know, the bike is perfectly secure. The arms are very big, and there's a rib here to make it laterally stable. The wheel rest is huge, much bigger than what you find in the One-Up, and this can handle up to a 5-inch wheel with no modification. Something interesting here is if you had a mullet, the adjustment for the wheel size is tool-free. So everything about this rack is tool-free. So let's say you want it here, you just lock it into place, and then boom. What I want to do now is I want to take it off, and I'm going to show you the details of this rack that make it special. So let me take the bike off. So one of the weaknesses I found with this rack, when let's say you have a mullet or a 26er, you always like it like this. It doesn't quite rest in the perfect spot that it was designed to do. So this wheel rest is huge, and it's kind of in the way. All right, so but then you probably say, hey, you can just adjust it anytime, but a little bit inconvenient. Another cool thing about this rack is the way that you store it is with these plates. So this plate allows you to fold it in and lock it in place without any tools. But the real magic to this rack is it's very modular. So they took a modular design, one rack for people who like to take their rack off all the time, or there's, you know, a lot of your rides are solo. You put it on, put it off. 28 pounds for this one, even though it has 120 pound capacity. And to do a second rail, you just rest it on here and then lock it onto place, and it's tool free. So the main thing about this rack, what I would say, is it's tool free, it's attractive looking, very solid. And I'm going to show you how to take this rack off in a minute. But you can see how stealthy it is and how solid it is. It elevates like this, so if you have a lot of racks, they don't interfere with it on a plane. You know, it's elevated just like the one up. All right, so now I'm going to demonstrate to you how to take off the rack from your vehicle and how to put it on. And this is where this rack really shines. If you're a person who likes to take their rack off and on the car, or they put it on only when they ride, then this might be the solution, because this thing is light and it's very convenient. Tool free. All you need is a key. So when you put the key in, you turn it. That means now you can turn this knob, which is a wedge, and now it's free. I'll put the key down, and then here we have a red lever here, which is a safety. I'll show you some close-up, but it is a incredibly light design. All right, so here's your rack. Just take it out of the garage. In its box, it's a convenient holder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it and unfold it. So to install it, you just spread it open. It's already free, and when it hits that point, it locks into place. So tool free, super convenient. And now we're going to put it on. There's a safety. And then at this point, it's very wobbly, right? And it's not secure. We just turn the lever. And this thing will only lock into place on a horizontal or the upper position. Press the button and now it's locked. There's no way to turn that lever anymore. Pros and cons of the rack. So obviously the pro is the convenience, the security. In my running footage, you'll see how secure this is with one 52-pound e-bike. So with two, you know, it's almost as secure, but it's definitely just to a different level. So that's the pro. The ease of use, the levers, these big levers, the way that they open up all the way, they even get out of the way, so you can just lift your bike from the rear, or you can buy a ramp, you know, $225 ramp from them, and you're in business. The cons of this rack, will be really picky here, but you know, the waiting period, the 6-month waiting period, that's a huge con. You have to be really committed to this rack. And if you want an addition, let's say, oh, you invested in this rack, you have one tray like us, you want to buy another one? No, you're not in the front of the line. You're back of the line. It could take another 6 months, maybe 9 months for you. Another con of this rack is this lever is kind of cute. You know, it's like a little thumb, but really it's kind of sticky. There's almost no way to just pull it, unlike my other steel racks, especially steel. This is aluminum, and aluminum is kind of sticky. So what you need to do is you need to wiggle it a little bit, and then you can lift that lever. It's never going to be that easy. Sometimes with one rack, I just would rather just do this thing. And then finally, I would say there's no rest on the wheel, you know, and that's so you could adjust them laterally. But really, for me, with a heavy bike, I like having a wheel rest. That way, it's just secure. The front wheel doesn't wobble like this. And then wheel locks, those are extra, $55 each. So it could get expensive if you want wheel locks. So there you go. You know, kind of just a quick take, but we did shoot quite a bit of running footage on it. Hang on, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to compare it head to head against its predecessor, the One Up USA Quik Rack, both the Equip D and the Super Duty Rack. And then we'll have a shootout with the Saris MHS system, the new Yakima and the new Thule. Everything you want to know about transporting your heavy bikes, we're going to cover here on E-MTB Review. Thanks a ton.
All right, let's go for a little test drive. Starting with a little driveway here, a little bump. No problem. This is a 52-pound e-bike entering parking lot right there, and then speed bumps. And even though we only have one bike, we are hitting these speed bumps hard, double what we usually hit them with. And right here is a diagonal approach to the speed bump. Every tire will hit the bump at different times, and you could see this rack is rock solid. Just hardly any movement, no side to side rocking. We're hitting it pretty hard. So here is a view from the back of the car, and this is a good one. You could see the front to back sway of the bike. So the front wheel does not have a wheel rest, so contributes to a little bit of the front to back sway. And here we enter the freeway. Little bumps on the freeway, especially freeway dividers, are amplified because we're going so much faster. The risks are much greater on the freeway. So we always try to show you guys the movement on the freeway, and as you can see, it's pretty darn good. Here we take an exit. The exit has a couple uncomfortable bumps, and with this rack, I think you can be confident that it's not an issue at all. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll have a lot more rack reviews and comparisons with the original One Up and the other leading tray racks today. Thanks a ton, everyone.